got a lot to go over. And I want to make sure you've got enough time.
Okay.
So as soon as this kicks over to 6, we'll dive in. Yeah, there's a ton of people coming on now. This is awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's right now, I just clicked over to 6 p.m. And out of respect for your time, want to make sure that we do respect your time. So we want to start right now. If you came expecting to see Trent, don't panic. Trent, my name is Brock Madsen. I've known Trent for over 17 years. Trent's asked me to kick off the meeting tonight. And first of all, just thank you for being here. We're going to cover some things tonight that has the potential to literally transform your life. Actually in numerous ways, if you'll let it. And because of that, I would encourage you to please have something to take notes with. Shut the door, turn off the phone, whatever, just to eliminate any distractions. We're planning on 60 minutes tonight, give or take 5 minutes either way. And with that being said, we have a ton of stuff to cover, not a lot of time, so let's go to work. If you're taking notes, I would encourage you to write this down. Education versus application.
Hey, Brock, we lost you for just a second. Can you click the unmute? We lost you at education and application. Go ahead.
I promise I'm not unmuting myself.
Yeah.
All right, so just if you will, in your notes, I'd like you to write down education versus application, because obviously education's important, but when we actually apply what we've learned, that's when the magic happens. And so tonight, as Trent's going over this stuff, we're going to focus more on the application, because all of the education in the world is useless until you actually apply it. So I want you to think about this. When you ask surface level questions, we typically get surface level answers. Like if you say to somebody, "How are you?" "Fine." "What'd you do today?" "Nothing." So I'm going to ask you a question, and I really want you to think about your answer on a deeper level. Why are you here? Why are you on this call tonight? Why are you sacrificing an hour of your time? And again, typically people are going to say, "Oh, I want to make more money." And that's surface level stuff. Guys, in order to figure out what's going on, we've got to ask questions that go deeper than that go below the surface. So if I were to ask everyone on the call tonight, why are you here? I'm betting some of you would say, I want to learn how to make more money. And I want you to think about that. That's fine, but that's surface level. I want you to go deeper than that. Why do you want to make more money? What will making more money do for you? How will making more money change your life? And, it would give me the opportunity to spend more time with my family, just as an example. Some of you, on the other hand, may say, I came because I want to be healthier. And again, nothing wrong with that. We should all want to be healthier, but that's more of a surface level answer. Why? Why are you here for your health? What is it? What will it do for you by you being healthier? What will that do for you? And those are the types of questions that we need to answer, because if you can figure out your why, if you've read Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why, it's one of my top all-time favorite books. And if you can figure out your real why, not just that I want to make more money or I want to be healthier, but on a deeper level, that's what's going to catapult you to take action. And it's what will allow you to keep going when things aren't always going your way, because it's not always going to go our way. And knowing your why literally makes you unstoppable. And with that being said, I want to introduce you. As I've mentioned, I've known Trent for over 17 years. This young man is unique in so many ways. He has reached a level of financial success in life that very few ever get to. And he's going to share literally the formulas that he used to get there with us, and a lot of that tonight. But what makes Trent unique is, even though he's reached that level of success financially, he is still one of the nicest, kindest human beings on this planet. And that's why I am so excited for you to be able to listen to what Trent has to say tonight. And it really is. If you're here because you want to be healthier, he's going to answer those questions. If you're here because you want to make more money, and again, deeper level, he's going to show you how to do that. So I don't want to take any more of his time. With that being said, please welcome Mr. Trent Tueller.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Brock. I really appreciate it. I asked Brock to do this because Brock and I are dear friends, and Brock is somebody I love and trust, and Brock is somebody that has been using the protocol, and it's already changed his life. His blood pressure and some other problems that he was worried about have been on the protocol, and I love Brock, and thanks, Brock. Welcome, everybody. I've got a lot of really nice friends on this call, people who I love and care about. Many business partners are on this call, and some of you have invited other people who you care about to this call, and we're just really glad you're here. I'll start out by just introducing myself, and we want to move fairly quickly. We'll have some time for Q&A at the end, but I want to dig right in. And I'm going to be sharing my screen as I introduce myself and maybe a little bit about my why, if that's all right. I think that would be appropriate. So I'm here because of this man. This is my dad, who is now dead. 7 years ago, my dad died from stage 4 colon cancer, and it broke my heart, really broke my heart. It was completely preventable. And decades before my dad had colon cancer, he had a problem called insulin resistance. Now, maybe you've heard of type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes. Perhaps you've heard, certainly you've heard of obesity. Certainly you've heard of high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Maybe you are familiar with PCOS for women. All of these problems are rooted in insulin resistance. But when my dad got sick, that was a term I was completely unfamiliar with. I didn't even know what it meant. And so when my dad got sick, I kind of went down the rabbit hole and started to read all the latest science behind these metabolic health problems and try to learn whatever I could to maybe save my dying father. And what I learned opened my eyes. It was too late for my dad, but I know that you have a dad or a mom or a brother or a child, or maybe you yourself has some of these problems. And by solving the insulin resistance problem, we can save lives. If I knew then what I know now, my dad would be alive today and he would know my kids, and my kids would get to know him. But that chance, he didn't get that chance. Years ago, I became aware of something that was being studied. This was being studied by the Cleveland Clinic. It was being studied by the University of Sydney in Australia, which is those guys are the blood sugar kings of the world. It was studied at Brigham Young University, which is close to me. I'm from Provo, Utah, where Brigham Young University is located. It was studied at the University of Stanford, UNLV, and about a dozen other institutions. This research that was happening was going completely unnoticed by the general public. And so I learned about this research and I studied it and was convinced that this was something that was going to change the world and save millions of lives. There was a product, a natural protocol that was being developed that was going to change the world. And so me being a bit of a capitalist, I actually called the owner of the company, the manufacturer, and said, hey, I read all the studies. I would like to buy stock in your company. Now, I need to back up and just kind of tell you where I was at 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago, I was having a midlife crisis. Ever have one of those? I hope I'm not the only one who's had a little bit of a midlife crisis. I have a beautiful family with 3 little girls, and I was in a spot where I needed to make more money. I won't go into all the details, but the business I had built, the company that I had, it was not paying me any money. I was unable to pay myself a paycheck for about 9 months. And I blew through a bunch of savings and then started to use some savings and some credit. And I was scared. I don't know if you've ever been there before. It makes me emotional. But I felt like I had to run as fast as I could every single month just to stay in the same place. And I looked at my life and I was like, I'm scared. I've got these beautiful girls who I have to provide for, and I'm exhausted and I'm treading water. How long can I tread water, right? Before I start to sink, right? And um, so at this time, I reached out to the owner of this company looking for an opportunity, right? And I said, hey, I want to be involved. I'd like to buy stock in your company before the world finds out about this stuff. I want to buy stock, right? I mean, what if you had a time machine? You could go back and buy stock in Apple before the launch of the iPhone, right? Get rich quick, right? Well, that's how immature I was. And I called him and said, hey, I want to buy stock before anybody knows about this. And he said, well, I appreciate it. And you're right, it is going to change the world, but we don't have any debt and we don't want to sell stock. Why would we, right? We want to own this. But if you're serious and really want to be a part of it, you could buy a franchise. Well, that sounded nice, but I didn't really have any money. And so I talked it over with my wife, and we were both using the protocol anyways, that we were using the product. And so, we decided that we needed to invest $1,500 to buy this franchise. And guys, if I'm being honest, at the time, my goal, I thought if I could invest $1,500 just to make an extra $1,000 a month, if I can even make $1,000 a month, that would change my life, because we were treading water, right? And if I could start getting ahead, even at the rate of $1,000 a month, my future would be totally different. And I could take a break from some time. I wouldn't have to run as fast as I could every month, right? And so we did it. I was scared, but we did it. And we were using the product anyway. So when I bought this franchise, they sent me 10 months worth of the product, which was actually worth more than the cost of the franchise. And so I was like, well, worst case, dear, I mean, let's try this. But worst case scenario, I drink 5 boxes, you drink 5 boxes, and we come out okay and we're healthy as ever, right? So she agreed. Thank you, Denise, for agreeing. And it has changed our life dramatically. And we're now making more money than we ever had in our lives. But the reason why we're having this call is because we're in expansion mode and we can help you. And I'm going to give you a lot of proof on this phone call. We can help you copy exactly what we're doing. And if you are treading water, if you want a better, 2.5 years ago, I had nothing set up in retirement for myself. And now it's set for life. And I want to help others copy what we've done. And so that 2 or 3 years from today, you could, maybe be set for life, right? So that's the goal. And I'm going to show you exactly how. I realize that this is a mixed audience and many of you are friends. Some of you are on the protocol already. In fact, if you've been using the product, if you've been on the protocol, would you just put a me in the chat? Maybe write me in the chat if you've already been using this protocol. There are many on this call who maybe have not started. Look at that. Holy cow. Me. That's awesome. Okay. And I'm going to have you guys participate here as we go. It'll be fun. But many of you have not yet tried the protocol. If you have not yet tried the protocol, maybe write not yet in the chat. If you've not yet tried the protocol, write not yet so I can get a feel for this. Okay. There's Meg. Oh, not yet, not yet, not yet. Okay. Lots of not yets. Okay, great. So let me explain the protocol and then I'm going to explain the opportunity, right? Now, in order to have a really, really big opportunity, you have to solve a big problem for people. You have to add value to people. You have to make other people's lives better, right? And right now, the biggest problem in the world is this thing called insulin resistance. Now, if you've never heard that word before, You could Google it, okay? You'll see that over the next 10, 20, 30 years and beyond, insulin resistance is going to be the buzzword because we know that the root cause of things like obesity is actually insulin resistance. If you feel hungry all the time, if you have constant cravings, if it's very difficult for you to have dietary discipline because of your urges and cravings, if you have a protruding belly, especially, this protruding belly is characterized by visceral fat, the fat beneath the surface, the fat around your liver and organs. That is a dead giveaway that you have insulin resistance, okay? Fatty liver rooted in insulin resistance. Diabetes and prediabetes are by definition insulin resistance. Things like migraine headaches, things like Alzheimer's and dementia. I mean, think about how big of a market, how big of a problem Alzheimer's is now with the baby boomers entering those years, right? Well, guess what? Diabetes type 3, they're calling Alzheimer's and dementia diabetes type 3, and it's insulin resistance. Heart disease is the #1 killer in the world. It's a problem of insulin resistance. PCOS for women, the #1 cause of infertility worldwide, and the #1 contributor to PCOS is insulin resistance. We have a natural, clinically proven, and patented solution to the problem of insulin resistance. All right. Just to put this into perspective, in the United States alone, just in the US, there are 100 million American adults that are diabetic or pre-diabetic. There's another 100 million American adults who would like to lose 20 pounds or more. All right. The market is massive and people are literally dying for what we have. Now, I want to talk about this solution. If I can get my slides to work. Let's see. We have a solution that nobody can copy. We have protected it. Nobody can copy it. The pharmaceutical companies would give their right eye to own the patents on this, but they'll never own them. Okay. This was originally developed by Rexall. Those of you who are over the age of 40 will remember Rexall drugs. It used to be the biggest drugstore in America. It was bigger than Walgreens, bigger than CVS, right? Rexall originally came out with this. Now we have dozens, more than 24 clinical studies proving that what I'm about to show you is true. But I'm going to give you even better proof tonight, okay? Better than the studies. I know it's hard to top. The Cleveland Clinic is the #1 heart hospital in the world. When you see what they said about this, I'll have your attention, right? It is incredible. Now, this protocol is pharmaceutical grade. It is in the physician's desk reference. It often works as well as, and sometimes better than medication, but there is no medication in it. There's no medication, no drugs. It is also fully guaranteed. It will work for you. If you use it properly and if you are consistent, it will work for you. But if anybody decides that it's not their cup of tea, they can just get a refund. They have nothing to lose. They can use it for 90 days. And when they go back to their same doctor and they do their blood work again, it will be dramatically, measurably better or their money back. This makes it very, very easy to share. All right. Now, it's cost neutral. We'll talk about that. And we now have this available in 50 different countries around the world. This is going to shock the world. And I'm not exaggerating. Now, because some of you said that you have not yet tried the protocol, I'm just going to explain it very simply. It is the simplest thing in the world, okay? Step 1, whenever you are not wanting to eat food, let's say you're taking a break from food between meals or you're doing some intermittent fasting, you sip the Unimate. The Unimate makes us forget about food. It's an insulin sensitizer that it mimics the therapeutic action of drugs like metformin, only there's no drugs in it, okay? We have one patent on the Unimate, and it is incredible. I have some right here, and when I'm sipping the Unimate, I can fast forever. It's incredible. It makes me forget about food. Then when it's time to eat, so step one is when you're not eating, you sip the Unimate. Step number two, when it's time to eat before your largest meal each day, and I actually do it before every meal, you slam a blend of plant fiber. This has 4 patents on it and is unlike anything on the planet. And it is legally protected that there will be nothing like it. Okay. This has been studied around the world. It is going to change the world. It eliminates blood sugar spikes, insulin spikes. It lowers LDL cholesterol. It improves HDL cholesterol. It lowers triglycerides. It's amazing for satiety. And if a person that's measuring their blood sugar uses it, it will blow them away day one. Okay. Now, how we use the Unimate, right? Just to recap, is we use the Unimate whenever we're fasting. Let's say you skip a meal. Let's say you got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you're going to do some intermittent fasting. And so you skip your breakfast. And maybe you skip your snacks too, right? You sip the Unimate whenever you're trying to avoid food. And then the balance you have before your largest meal each day, or if you're like me, you can do it before both meals, right? It's cost neutral. Why do we say it's cost neutral? We say it's cost neutral because when you skip a meal, you save how much? I mean, what do you spend on a meal? I can't get a good meal at Starbucks or McDonald's. A cheap meal costs more than $5, right? But we're going to take the $5 or more we save on a meal, and we're going to use that to cover the cost of the protocol. And so it pays for itself. If somebody doesn't have $159 in their budget, they do now. As soon as they start this protocol, it pays for itself, right? So everyone can afford it. Now, if this sounds, for those of you who have not yet tried the protocol, I want to show you something here in a moment. But if this sounds like a gimmick or just a supplement, I mean, there's a billion supplements out there, right? I want you to know that everything I've just said is listed in the physician's desk reference. This is not Metamucil. This is not protein powder or vitamins. This is actually something that your doctor, if you told your doctor and said, hey, I'm thinking of trying this new thing I heard about, some guy on a Zoom call told me about it, your doctor's probably going to be like, ooh, I don't know. There's a lot of scam. Doctor, hey, just look it up for me in the PDR. They can look it up, and when they look it up in their PDR, they'll say, wow, how have I never heard of this? Yeah, that sounds great. Try that, right? The Cleveland Clinic, this is the #1 heart hospital in the world. They studied it in a double-blind placebo, and they said that this product, if taken regularly, could reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis. I read that as this can save lives at scale. And they said this could potentially decrease the need and/or dose for lipid-lowering prescription drugs. Those 3 words, decrease prescription drugs, make me excited. This is going to be disruptive. If any of you in the chat, do me a favor, okay? If any of you in the chat have been using this protocol and it has gotten you off of one or more of your prescription drugs, maybe just put a yes in the chat. If it's gotten you off one or more prescription drugs, put a yes in the, look at that. Okay. This is real. This is a study from the University of Sydney. We have studies galore. You may know of a lot of people now that are using Ozempic and other injections to get more GLP-1. They're using these weight loss shots, which have serious side effects. I don't want to trash them. They could be a great option for many people, right? But people are taking these drugs because they want more GLP-1 to block out the food noise. Unimate raises GLP-1 by 60%, and it's natural. It does the same thing. It raises GLP-1, but with no drugs. Okay, now I was going to show some testimonials before we explain the business model, but I think there's a better opportunity because many of you said you're already using the protocol. if you would do me a favor, we're going to pause for a second and this will be fun. If you or somebody in your household has been using this protocol, now I don't want you to exaggerate, okay? If you've been using it and you have experienced a measurable positive result that you would say, has been life-changing for you or good for you, would you mind putting it in the chat? I just want to read some of these from other people who aren't Trent that are just happy on the protocol. I'm going to read some of these as I'm always blown away when I ask the people that have been using this what it does for them. Okay. So I'm going to read a few of these. Tanya Vineyard, my husband had a bypass 2 years ago and he is now off all of his cholesterol medication. Kenny, down 50 pounds, sleep apnea gone, high blood pressure gone, neuropathy gone. My wife reversed her PCOS over 20 years. She had PCOS in 2 months. She's down 12 pounds. My mom is 78 and her kidney function is up. Oh, that's awesome. Down 2 pant sizes. Daughter doubled the standard test scores. James Cox, I have lost 70 pounds since July 23rd. Amazing, James. Jerome Reed, using it 4 months, I've lost 40 pounds. Kathy Yoder, we're going to hear from Kathy in just a little bit. Kathy is awesome. Kathy says, husband is down 25 pounds. Jim Grasser, I've reversed my type 2 diabetes using this protocol. Stop, full stop, okay? Listen to that sentence. I've reversed my type 2 diabetes using this protocol. So has my mother and mother-in-law. My business has helped no fewer than 100 people do the same, reverse their type 2 diabetes. That is what we're doing. We are changing the world. Craig Clay, my triglycerides went from 150 down to 70 in 6 months, and my HDL went from 39 up to 59. Vicky Patterman, it has reduced my cravings for sugar. I am a sugar addict. Oh, Vicky, me too. And it's done the same for me. Monica Newhan, I told my doctor and he did not put me on statins like he had recommended. And wow, I have never had to get on statins now for almost 4 years. Lost 25 pounds, 4 dress sizes. I'm in love with this. Kelly Rawl, no more hypothyroidism. I've lost 40 pounds. Heath Chapman, down 33 pounds in 3 months. iPhone, I don't know what your name is, but iPhone says I've lost 12 pounds in 3 to 4 months. Coach King, just on it for 1 week, and wow, this is unbelievable. Logan Webster, what's up, Logan? Down 25 pounds in just over a month. More energy, no food anxiety, no more fatty liver. Guys, there's 38 additional messages here. We don't have time to read them all, but I wanted to give you some proof. This will change the world. This is going to be disruptive. This is the pharmaceutical company's worst nightmare. I believe that what we are doing, the 223 of us here right now, this is the start of the unpharmification of the United States, of North America, and of the world, okay? This is real. We've got the clinical studies to prove it, and nobody knows about it yet, okay? Now, I want to explain what we're doing, but it's very, very important that I first explain this. There are 226 of us here. What is my goal in sharing my business model with you and teaching you how to copy what I'm doing? My goal is, with the 226 of us here, through us as a team together, I want to build a distribution channel where millions and eventually tens of millions of people will be using this protocol and selling this protocol, and a piece of all those sales is going to trickle back to your bank account and my bank account. I want to create a distribution channel that can change the world and that you and I can make out wonderfully financially because we were in the right place at the right time and did something about it, right? So I want to explain the business model. There's been a couple questions in the chat. Is this network marketing or affiliate marketing, or is it one or the other, or is it franchise or what, right? I want you to imagine all the benefit of, direct sales or network marketing. So imagine all the benefits of that, where you can build a huge residual recurring income for yourself, right? A leveraged income where over time you can work less and less, but actually get paid more and more. But I want you to imagine that with an affiliate marketing strategy. Okay. So we're not going to be inviting friends and family over to a Super Bowl party and blindsiding them with a business opportunity or with a product. Okay. We're not doing that. We have a strategy that is killer and that can help you get thousands of people all over the world. And all of that trickles back to you. And I'm going to show you that. Let me share my screen once more. Okay. So what is this exactly? How would I describe it? I'm going to do my best to describe it. Bear with me. I'm a little insecure about my presentation on this because I'm still trying to figure out how to explain it. Okay, so I'm going to do a little exercise tonight. So I believe this is different and better than anything I've ever done before. 2.5 years ago, I had nothing to show for my retirement, and now I'm set. So how did I do it, and how can you do it, right? Well, I want to kind of show something here, and this is the first time I've ever really done this. Over here, I want to talk about what most people do. Most people, and this was me for most of my life, they're either an employee or they're maybe self-employed, right? This is most people. They either work for someone else or they work for themselves. But whether you are an employee or you're self-employed, in both cases, we are trading our time for money, right? We show up, we work, we get paid. We don't show up, don't work, we don't get paid, right? And there's some other things that aren't lovely about this. You know, you have a boss, you have a schedule, maybe you have a limit. This is what always bothered me. There's a limit to how much they're paying me. I'm doing a better job than the guy next to me, but we're making the same thing, even though I'm more productive, right? So why be more productive if there's a limit to what they pay me, right? And so this is unfortunately for many people kind of unhappy. We'll call this an unhappy zone or unfulfilled, right? And then there are a few people who have a big business. And we'll say a big business is a business with, you know, I don't know, 50 employees or something like that, right? And I'm just kind of spitballing here, right? And, you know, you'd think that these big business guys and girls, you'd think that these people would be just on top of the world because look at all the people they have working for them. But they have a ton of stress and bills or overhead. And, you know, there's a lot of liability. You know, they could have one HR issue, and that HR issue could bankrupt their business. They could lose everything over something somebody said or did, right? They have people trying to sue them. They have red tape that the government puts them through. And overall, even though, you know, on paper, it looks like there's a lot of money to be made here, a lot of people, they have the money, but they really aren't happy because of the trade-offs, right? So let's call this another maybe unhappy zone, right? Now, there's some studies and research on this. There is this little sliver right here with even fewer people. So this is just a few people, like very, very few people are right here, and I'm running out of space to write. But this little sliver, they say that if you have a small business of like 6 to 10 employees, all right, and if you're doing like 3 million a year in revenue, which means you're probably making maybe up to $500,000 net take home, they call this the happy zone. All right. This is the happy zone where, you know, you don't have very much liability. You've got a pretty good setup. All right. But there's very, very few people. And my problem with this quote unquote happy zone that they talk about is that this happy zone still takes capital. You have to, you know, invest. You have to have an idea or a product, right? You have to have a personality that can take initiative and take a big risk, right? Because there's definitely going to be risk here, right? You've got all these boxes that you still have to check. And let's be honest, most of the time, if you know somebody who lives in that happy zone, there's not many of them. They also needed some luck, right? I know that the wins I've had in the past, there was some luck involved. Okay, so like, what are our chances of being totally fulfilled professionally if this is what most people are doing and the lucky few are still taking a bunch of risk and maybe unhappy? So this is what we do. All right. This is what, we got most people over here and then just a few people over here. Let's talk about our people. Okay. This is the dream zone. I mean, this is like the Shangri-La, okay, life. And in this, what we're doing is no employees, which means no overhead, no office space, no cubicles, no shipping department, no warehouse or storage where we have to store things, no like inventory, right? There's no maintenance. There's no HR issues, no legal, no lawsuits. There's no red tape for us. The company, the manufacturer has already gotten this product in 50 different countries, right? There's just simply no headaches. Oh, and I should add, no boss, no schedule, and no limit to what you can earn because we have a turnkey digital franchise, okay? And this right here, my friends, we want to welcome you into this really, really special box. And I'm going to give you some proof on that in just a second. Okay, so the company came out with a referral program where when you refer somebody to the protocol, you can get paid an unlimited residual income on all of their orders and all of their subsequent orders indefinitely forever. Okay. Now, depending on where they are in the world and some other factors, that residual will range between $20 and $25 per customer per order forever. That might not sound like a lot of money. Just wait and see. Okay. So let's say that you had 10 people. There's 100 million type 2 diabetics and pre-diabetics in this country. Let's say that you had 10 of them on the protocol. Well, in the US, if you have 10 customers times $25, that's $250 a month. And that for many people is like a car payment, right? If you had 100 customers, well, that for many people is like a house payment. $2,500 extra a month is life-changing for just about everybody I know. You could have thousands of customers, and we have people on this call who have done this, right? And that would mean you're earning a really, really good full-time income residually that is on repeat every month, whether you get out of bed or not, right? Now, I don't want you to worry so much about these bigger numbers because the entire business model is built around 10. If you, with our help, can get 10 people on this protocol, you can make a lot of money, like 6 or 7 figures with this model. All right. Now, I want to explain the basics of how this works. Otherwise, it'll make your head spin in a moment. All right. So let's say that you have a franchise and you've decided that you're going to do this with us and copy our business. When you refer someone, let's say you refer Bob, Bob orders the protocol, you get $25 on Bob, right? Now, Bob is not necessarily promoting this, but he's a happy customer. And so he tells his wife, Sue, hey, this stuff's working for me. I want you to try it too. The company is going to give Bob a thank you, a little $10 coupon every time Sue orders. So Sue is getting the discount link from Bob. Bob's getting a little credit every time Sue orders. The company gives Bob another coupon that he can only use one place, and that's buying more of the product from you. And you, because you got this party started, are getting the residual, the $25 on Bob and on Sue. All right. And let's say that Sue is a social butterfly, and so she starts referring other people. You're getting the $25 on all of these people because you got the party started. Now, this becomes massive. There is a franchise office, a digital franchise back office that they give you, where you start to see the names of all these people who have ordered from you or ordered from someone who ordered from you. All right. I don't know any of these people, but they pop up new ones every single day. It will show you every single time they have ever ordered. It will show you every person they've ever referred, and you can dig into that and see how many times they have ordered. It will show you where they are in the world. And all of this backs out to your weekly and monthly commission checks that the company sends you. Okay. Now, what we've been able to do with this is lever it. What does that mean? It means that when I started talking about this and I started making content on social media, that's one of the ways I did it, because I didn't have any money to run ads or, hire somebody to shoot an infomercial. I just made content holding my phone in front of my face, right? And there's a guy named Mario who saw my video, and in 8 days, he ordered the product. In 8 days, he was off as metformin. And he's like, Trent, I want to do what you're doing. I want to tell more people about this. This could help a lot of people and save a lot of lives. And so now Mario has this group of Spanish speakers who are talking about this. And from this small group who is now talking about it and promoting it and copying what I am doing, I'm usually getting paid on this at least a minimum of $10,000 per month on their duplication, on their sales of this protocol. The manufacturer gives me a cut of their sales every month, whether I get out of bed or not. And so I've found other people who have started to copy this and do it. And as this is starting to spread, there are now people all over the country, and this is still a very small movement. It's going to get big, hopefully with your help, right? This has turned into leverage. Leverage is when other people's activity pays you money. And what my goal is to have you right smack dab in the middle of this, with thousands, millions of people using the protocol and referring it, and all of that trickling back to your bank account, right? Now, why is 10 customers a big deal? Well, when you buy a franchise, they send you 10 sets of the product. You're going to use those 10 sets to get 10 customers. And when you have those 10 customers, boom, you just recouped your investment, right? You invest in and get a franchise, you get 10 customers, you give the 10 sets to those 10 customers, they pay you, you've recouped your investment, now you own it free and clear. But moving forward, you now have 10 people on the product. And if you maintain those 10 customers times $25, that's $250 a month. And this is a very significant number, because this is enough money to cover the cost of your own product. So you can now use the product for free every month and make about $100 or so, right? This little business, this 10 customer business, we can help anybody do. Now, in fact, do me a favor. If you're a partner and have been doing this with us and you have 10 customers or more, would you just write 10 in the chat? Write a 10 in the chat. If you have 10 customers, look at that, okay? 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? Now, if you have 5 customers, hey, you're halfway there, right? Awesome. We'll get you to 10. Some of you have hundreds of customers and some of you have thousands. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take this and just duplicate it with other people. And this is where, if we go back to this picture here, where you, by duplicating this with other people, can get a cut of all those other people's businesses. This all trickles back to you. And I say, hey, if you're willing to use the product, if you're willing to follow our training, we can help you get 10 customers. And if you duplicate that with other people, you teach them how to build a 10 customer restaurant, You can make a ton of money with this. Now, I did the math on what this would look like if you had a 10 customer business and you duplicate with one partner a month every month for 12 months. Okay. And this is staggering. Again, we get the 10 sets to 10 people. We've recouped our investment. We have people that will buy the franchise on a credit card, and before the sets arrive, they're already sold and the credit card is paid, right? Now, by the end of the 4th month, you're making about $1,400 a month. And this is significant because now you're qualifying for the free reward trips that they send us on. And I'll show you those in just a second here. All right. By the end of the 7th month, you're making a really good full-time income for most people. By the end of the 9th month, you're making almost $30,000 a month. By the end of the 11th month, you are making ridiculous money per month. Now, I realize that you probably don't believe that's possible. That's a big number. And if I was watching this, I'd be like, oh, sure, right? There are people on this call who are doing that right now, okay? But let's just say you do 10% of it. Let's say you could get to $9,700 a month. That would be life-changing for most people. Let's say that you only do 1% of it and you're making an extra $970 per month. If you do 1% of 10 customers and one partner per month duplicated, right? You're making an extra $1,000 a month. And that right there, what would that do for you, right? I know we can help anybody who will follow our system, and I'll show you the system now, right? Get 10 customers and duplicate with other partners. Now, what does it look like? If you've already been using the product, like my wife and I were, this is a double, triple, quintuple no-brainer for you. Because when you buy the franchise for $1,500, they send you 10 sets of the product. Well, if you're already planning on using the product for the foreseeable future anyways, I mean, even if you just drink the 10 sets, right, you come out ahead. But the company wants to help you sell these 10 sets so that you can recoup your investment. And now you own the franchise free and clear. You've made your money back. This unlocks the $25 per order, and it also gets you some success stories, 10 success stories that you can use to promote your business. But what's going to be really fun for you is taking advantage of the training. We're going to teach you all the science behind the product and how to articulate it. We're going to teach you how to do the business, how to get your customers and partners and grow. And if you're willing to do some social media, well, we can help you supercharge the whole thing, right? Again, the success formula is to use the product, get 10 customers, and duplicate with others. But if you're willing to do this, then you should double, triple, quintuple do this, all right? Now, I want to show you what happens when we bring in a partner, because this is not about selling you a business. This is about partnering with you. When you become a partner, we give you 24 months. I'm committed for the next 24 consecutive months. I commit to you, I will be doing these weekly coaching calls, which I've been doing for the last 12 plus months. Every single week, there will be millionaire mentors and our top performers who are going to be teaching you on a weekly basis exactly how to copy what we're doing. We're going to give you access to the Feel Great Family group, which is a Facebook group. And this is where you can put your customers in this group, and we're going to help coach them, nurture them, convert them to long-term product retention with you and for you. Okay. I did not have this when I got started. I had to coach my people and help them use it and help them take it, right? That's done for you. You're going to get access to monthly calls with medical professionals, doctors, some of the top medical professionals in the world. You can bring your customers there or your prospects there. And these doctors and medical professionals and people like Trent will cook these people, these prospects for you. All right. We're going to give you access to our training site. This will teach you the science, the skills, and everything you need to grow your business. All right. But beyond that, we're also going to give you 9 scripts that will help you sell your 10-pack. There are people on this call who have sold 10 10-packs. These scripts work and they'll help you recoup the investment and sell your 10-pack. We're going to give you 8 scripts that are proven scripts for booking meetings with potential partners. We're going to give you an objection playbook. This will help you overcome common objections, questions. This is like an FAQ where you know what to say if they say that thing or this thing, right? You're always prepared. You'll have access to over 100 recorded video testimonials, okay? It doesn't matter if maybe you don't have a type 2 diabetes reversal story. You'll have access to people and their stories, all right? This is invaluable. This has helped me build my business. We also want to make content creation for those that want to do social media. We want to make it turnkey, super duper easy. So I have a social media execution strategy that has now made me millions of dollars. And I want to teach you how to copy exactly what I've done without spending a penny on marketing or ads. Okay. I'll show you step by step. I'm going to give you 10 ready to record video scripts. So you can literally just boom, make them. And some of these, one of my scripts, a woman copied my script, the ready to record video script. On her very first video, she got 3 million views and 3,000 followers on her first video. We're going to show you how to record and edit videos. If you don't know anything about, how to do that, we're going to teach you how. We're going to also give you permission to replicate some of the very best videos from some of our top leaders and stars, okay? You'll be able to replicate them, and, that's like a gold mine, right? Okay, a couple more things. We're going to give you some lead magnets that are ready to go. You'll be able to say, hey, I have a blood sugar control guide. If you're trying to control blood sugar and you want to know what foods to eat or what foods to avoid, message me. Give me your name, email, phone number. I'll send you the guide. That's a lead magnet that gives you leads of people, strangers from all over the world who are interested in blood sugar control. There's another lead magnet, which is a women's fasting calendar. Teaches women how to fast around their cycle, and you will get leads from offering that for free to people. If you want my free fasting calendar, just say me, give me your email, your name, your phone, I'll send it right over. Boom, you just generated a lead. Now, for today, I'm going to do something that's really special, okay? This is only for the people who are on the call right now and who joined before midnight Eastern time tonight, okay? If you join today, I want to make it special. And so on Saturday, we are going to do a 3-hour boot camp with some of the top partners in the country teaching it, okay? In the 3 hours, in the first hour, we're going to help you sell your 10-pack. In the second hour, we're going to help you book your first meetings with potential partners. And in the third hour, we're going to help you record your first piece of content. You're going to watch us record one, and then we're going to help you turn around and record a piece of content, okay? Now, this boot camp, all right, if you have planned Saturday morning and you can't make the boot camp, I'll make sure that you have access and get this training. If you're not there Saturday, we'll make sure you get the training, okay? But this is only for people who join tonight or who are existing partners. Our existing partners are welcome to come, but this is only for people who join tonight. Now, I was going to share some stories here, and I'm not going to do that this way. There's a couple people here who I've asked to kind of maybe share a minute or two. But first, I need to show you something. This is really important to me, and I didn't want to do the call without doing this. I am not trying to sell you a business and then asking you to figure it out. We have figured this out. You don't need to figure it out. You just need to be willing to copy what we're doing. This can work for anyone, and we have so much proof on this call, okay? But I want to say something about, I'm not trying to sell you a business. I'm looking for a partner. We are looking for partners. This is Ubaldo. He's in Mexico. Ubaldo and Iris, they're both in Mexico. These were strangers who I've never met. Ubaldo was commenting on my videos on social media. We connected, and he became a partner. He started making videos in Spanish, okay? Now, Ubaldo's, in Mexico, their income is very, very different than it is in the US. And for Ubaldo, he agreed to just copy what we're doing And since copying what we're doing, he's turned on and helped change the lives of hundreds of different people. And now I have been to Hawaii, Tokyo, and this is us in Vietnam together on an all expenses paid trip by the company. I'm going to know Ubaldo and Iris for the next 20 years. Our kids are going to know each other. We're like legitimate partners, right? Hold on. I've got a little order here. This is Katie. Katie went on the protocol. Katie went on the protocol and lost 90 pounds. She was on metformin for 20 years. That's Katie on the left. She's lost 90 pounds. She's off all of her medications. She's a hairdresser. She started copying this with us, started working with us. And the other night she cried as she said, I was able to take my daughter on a vacation that mom paid for. It was mom's money, mom's business. And my daughter got to see me winning. And I took her to a once in a lifetime vacation, all expenses paid to Bangkok and Vietnam, right? We're not looking for short-term relationships. These are long-term people. This is William, stranger. He saw my video. He ordered the product. He lost 40 pounds. It changed his life. I've now been with William and Darcy to Dominican Republic, to Vietnam, to Tokyo, right? This is Amanda. I can't imagine. I mean, Amanda was a total stranger. I never met her before. I can't imagine our business, our family without Amanda. She's such an important part of it, right? We have, and I could go, I've got to be careful because we're almost to the time limit. This is us in Japan at the Tsukiji Fish Market. There's Shannon and Eric and Michelle and Yvette. Look how happy, right? There's Jackie and Clint Lackey in the back. There's Jim Grasser. There's Trent and Brittany. Here's a bunch of us in Tokyo, right? Some of you might see your picture there. There's Megan and Farhan, Anthony, Janine, Jennifer. So this is us hiking a volcano in Hawaii together. There's Jeff, right? Becky. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for long-term people. And there's Dean and his wife. This is at a zoo in Vietnam that we went to. There's Dr. Midge. She's an endocrinologist, and her husband, Steve, is an anesthesiologist. They are doctors in Canada and are important partners. And I've got to speed this up. So I would love to show more pictures and talk about more people. But I want you to know that this is about a partnership. We're going to help you. We're going to know you. We're going to be working with you. In a week, over 100 of us are going to be in Las Vegas for 2 days of training. We're renting out a bowling alley. We're going to eat pizza and bowl together, right? This is a family, and we want to help you be excellent at this. We don't win unless we help you win, right? So, okay, I've got some people real fast I want to bring on, and then I kind of want to show for anybody that wants to take the next steps what they could do. So real fast, I'm going to bring in Kathy. Kathy is a partner of ours. Kathy has, a lot of you are on this call right now because of Kathy. Kathy, would it be okay just maybe to put you on the spot a little bit here and give us, why are you doing this? Why are you excited about this? And any thoughts you have?
Trent, well, I'm doing it because I lost my mom in a little bit of a similar way. And I actually was just talking to my sister earlier today, and I was like, if mom knew about this and did it 5 years ago, she would be here with us. And I also got a super cool text message from somebody that I invited today. And she just told me she just started like end of March or end of November. Anyway, it just like I was in my car and I started to cry because her cholesterol levels went down a ton. And Barb. Anyway, it was so cool. And like, I don't even understand how the money works. I just really love to help people. And I have a platform where I have a big voice where I can reach a lot of people, but I talk about food. So now I get to talk about what happens after we eat and help people that way. But I gotta say, the value that you pour into people is phenomenal. And I've been in business I've been an entrepreneur for 20 something years. And I've paid a lot of money to get coaches and training and learn the art of what I do. And you are just giving it. to everybody. It's absolutely incredible. Anyway, I'm floored. I just think it's awesome. And then the fact that I don't have to worry about packing up orders, which I do for my other business. I don't have inventory issues. Like that's all handled for me. So I had like 48 orders go out this month and I didn't touch it. So it's super cool. So awesome. You're on mute.
I'm famous for muting myself. All right. Kathy, thank you so much. That was perfect. And I also asked two other ones real fast. Kathy, thanks so much. I'll let you get out of the spotlight. Kenny, hey, would you mind? Kenny's newer to this. Kenny got started in August. Kenny, maybe your 2 cents on what it's been like for you.
My why was very similar to yours, Trent. 21 years ago, one of my best friend's sons was 9 years old, and I found a tumor in his brain, and they told us he had 6 months, and we got 5 years out of him. And when I heard that mother and my friend cry, I can't get it out of my head. And then about a month before he passed, my father-in-law died of pancreatic cancer, and I started going down this wormhole. And then I almost died last year of the very thing that we're teaching people about. And I was a little resistant at first. I didn't want to go do videos and this and that. And then I was like, who am I to keep this information from others, right? And I started doing a video. It was really funny too, because I think the video you helped me with went like 2.5 million views, right? And it was about 3 weeks into my thing. And I had a lady reach out to me the very day. It's so funny how God works. And she goes, you saved my fiance's life with your information in this protocol. And I said, no, you did. And I said, you're the one that took action. She said, no, we did. And then I asked her about what I'm doing and how I'm sharing this with others. Would you take a look at this? And she was like, ah. And I said, what if I hadn't shared this with you? Where would your fiance be? Why would you withhold that from someone else, right? And she got back to me and she was like, I never thought about that. You never know how much you're going to change someone's life, which changes their world. And this is my bookmark every single day that I wake up, man, is an obituary of a woman that I wasn't able to touch and I wasn't able to help her. And now someone doesn't have a mother. They don't have, a child. And this is completely preventable, guys. And the better we become every moment, the more lives we touch. And I'm just like you, Trent. All I want is my team to win. I don't want to be on an island by myself. I want us all to go and I want us to all be on that island together. I want us to purchase that island. I want to fill that island with as many people that want to join us, because what we have and what God has bestowed upon us is so valuable. And when people feel better, they think better. When people think better, they act better. They're better parents. They're better workers. They're better in their church. Everything about them's better. And when you become better, your environment becomes better. It becomes better for our children. And we start to change the fabric of humanity from then moving forward. And I know in my heart, God kept me alive to do exactly what I'm supposed to do. And there's a reason when you go to a family reunion, how many of you guys know someone is dealing with cardiovascular issues, blood pressure, skin tags, belly fat,
Right.
like everybody, right? Let them have the choice, right, Trent? Like, don't withhold information. Let them make the decision. But God, don't let them perish because you didn't have what it took to say something to them. You're this tutelage, what you got. I spent $30,000 in 2020 to market myself. I should have thrown it in the freaking fireplace. What I've learned in this and how to brand myself and help others brand themselves, it's worth way hundreds of thousands of dollars. I bought a company 20 something years ago for $250,000. This is $1,500. It's a tax write-off. And the only way it doesn't work is if you don't open the box. And let me ask one more question. How many of you guys have any type ever taken a medication without a side effect? How many of you have ever had a 90-day money-back guarantee on the meds that you're taking? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. That's all I got, brother.
Oh, you sucked me in there. I was just listening and you got me. I love it. Thank you, Kenny. That was just perfect. And guys, I'm kind of putting these people on the spot. Yvette, I've got two more quick ones and then I want to show everybody what they can do. So Yvette, you've been a partner of mine now for 2.5 years. We met as strangers on TikTok. What has this been like for you?
2.5 years of pure joy. When you go to the hospital as a nurse, you see what we called frequent flyers, and we made fun of them. Oh, there's that same guy again. It's not funny because we're not fixing anything for patients. We're just putting a Band-Aid over the fever, and they come back and we laugh. So I get a lot of frequent text every day. Dr. Kenny, A1C cut in half. I'm off my meds, just like my dad passed away like yours. I couldn't save him because I didn't know what I didn't know. I thought taking M&Ms was normal, right? So saved my mom's life all the way down to 9 years old. 9-year-old, 76-year-old. It's so easy. It's so easy. So best decision ever made. I've never seen healing like this before. Never. Never. And I made friends along the way. So, you know.
And Yvette is also very humble, extremely humble, but she's making a boatload of money. A boatload of money. She is making a boatload of money. Thank you so much, Yvette. Again, I'm putting these people on the spot and they're just hitting it out of the park for me. Thanks, Yvette. All right, last one, and then I want to show everybody how you can take advantage of the offer that we have for tonight, because the offer is limited time only. I don't have the bandwidth to do a 3-hour call with everyone every week all the time, but I want to make this offer for you guys tonight. Now, real fast, John was a stranger. We'd never met each other. You know, he's in Michigan. John, maybe just your 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most wholesome thing that I've ever been part of. And a lot of folks, I think when I got in, I would compare myself to other people. But the last 10, 20, 30 years, everything that's happened in people's lives has put you in the very spot right here. Everything, all the failures, all the disappointments that you looked at as a disappointment then, it all had to happen for me to meet Trent Tueller. And he's changing the course of my family. Health wise, I might not even have been on this call if I wouldn't have found this 18 months ago because my health was so bad. And now I'm just going to pay it forward. And I'm meeting my best friends here.
Thanks, John. I love it. I want you to know that these people, okay, Kathy, Kenny, Yvette, John, these are 4 people who I love, but I could have brought 40 more on. And you know who you are that are on this call. We have some really great partners. And if you want a family, if you want somebody that's going to really treat you like a family member and show you step by step how to copy what we're doing, okay, we want to give you that opportunity. If you allow us to work with you over the next few weeks, it will change your life. Okay. Now we have a special offer for tonight. We're a little bit over time, so I need to wrap this up. If you want to see what the next steps, just to see what the next steps would look like, whoever invited you to this call, just send them a text right now and say, send me the link, right? Have them send you the link, and this will allow you to see what I'm about to show you. So text whoever invited you or email them or however they got you involved. Text them and just say, hey, send me the link so that you can see the offer and be a part of this, right? Here's what it will look like when you open the link. So they're going to send you a link. And this is what you'll see when you open the link. Well, first, since I opened up my phone, I still have those travel pictures I was showing. Imagine yourself, Kenny said, I want an island, right? With my whole team there celebrate. They rented us an entire jet, and they sent us from Bangkok to Vietnam, and it was our team on a jet. So, and the next one, we've got a couple other trips lined up. Okay. What are you going to see? Okay. When you say, send me the link to the person that invited you, and you can just see what the next steps look like. Here's what it will look like. It will say, create your opportunity. You'll select your country, right? Look at all those countries. We're going to take this thing global, guys. And you are the pioneers with me doing this, all right? So they're going to send you the link. And when you open up this link, you'll also, let's just put this in here. Oops. When you open up the link, this isn't my link. Hold on. It's going to, you click submit right there to get started. And when you get started, it's going to give you an option to pick your flavors. So you'll pick the flavors that you want in the 10 sets that they send you. You can pick the lemon ginger, the apple spice, the the mixed berry, the orange. You pick your flavors and they'll ship those to you free shipping with your franchise. All right. You can get a mix of flavors if you want to mix. As soon as you do that, the person that sent you the link will get notified and they're going to send you a getting started video. This getting started video will show you your next steps that you can take so that you'll be prepared for the business boot camp on Saturday. And again, if you want to take advantage of the offer, but Saturday morning is off the table for you, don't worry, I'll make sure you get the training. Okay. So that is how you could take advantage of the offer. All right. So we went through all the value you'll get for free when you do the franchise. And we're really, really excited to work with you. We're going to change the world and we want you to be a part of it. I want to just close by saying, guys, I have never, ever in my life done something so fun, so fulfilling, so wholesome and good. And the fact that we are making 6 and 7 figures, 6 and 7 figure unlimited potential that you can make with this, and that we're winning. I mean, we have a lot of people making a lot of money, and we have some people that aren't here to make a lot of money. They're not interested in making a lot of money or building a big business. They want to save lives, and if they can get their product for free, or they can get, a few $100 a month, hey, a few $100 a month, that could be life-changing for a lot of people. Whether you want a big business or a small business, we want to be in business with the right people and want to help you do it. So we love you guys. Thanks for being on the call. Again, just say, send me the link to whoever invited you, and that will give you the option to pick your flavors, complete the enrollment. And once you enroll, we'll send you the getting started video, and we'll see you guys Saturday. This was awesome. Love you all. And we'll see you guys next time. Oh, wait. Sorry, I said there'd be time for Q&A. If you have a question that hasn't been addressed, the official presentation can be over now. But if you have a question that hasn't been addressed, go ahead and let me know. Okay, Sherry, who said that? Sherry Winburn says, send me the link. All right, whoever invited Sherry, make sure you send Sherry the link. Sherry, we're so excited to have you, and you won't regret it. You're going to love this. Okay. Darcy, what's up, Darcy? Any questions? No questions. All right, Patty, it looks like Kathy's going to text you. Thanks, Logan. Hey, I want to be you when I grow up. Okay, awesome. I'm going to leave the chat open because it looks like some of you are trying to get a hold of one another that invited you. So I'm going to leave this open. If somebody has a question, you can ask it, but we'll close this here in a second. Wow, look at this. There are a lot of people who are all in. I'm getting private messages. I'm even getting people saying, send me the link to me. This is the first time we've done this offer like this on a call. I mean, the partners that are on this call, you can vouch. Please vouch in the chat that you did not see this offer. And you guys, obviously, the existing partners, you're going to have access to all this, right? But this business boot camp, I mean, we have not done this before, and all the stuff, it's never been packaged like this before. Trying to make it just turnkey. Julie Dick. Oh, I love this question, Julie. Julie says, what % of your customers keep ordering each month? Okay, so Julie, I'm just going to give you a sample of my people. I have thousands of strangers from all over the world who I've never met and never talked to that have clicked my link. They order the product. I get paid residual recurring income every month indefinitely. It's amazing. I've never had this in my whole life. I finally have, the recurring income that everybody dreams of. So we can help you build that. Now, let's say I get 100 of those, just to make math easy. If I get 100 of those and I never call them, never follow up with them, just leave them to themselves, right? About 25% will reorder. Now, I'm told that that's a fantastic number, but with this Feel Great Family Group, that will nurture them. There's daily coaching in there that we do for you, right? There's meal plans, recipe books. There's a support community. There's friends. There's people in there, right? When they get in that group, their retention goes through the roof. And we do all of that nurturing for you. Now, we want you to be a part of that group too, so you can see it and learn it and be there to high five your customers when they share their blood work and they've lost 50 pounds, right? But yeah, that will really, really help your retention. Now, so that 25% if you never talk to them, never do anything. If you talk to them and you follow up with them, that number can double or triple. And with the Feel Great family, I'm excited to see what's going to happen to retention. I think it's going to be amazing. Awesome. Okay. Great question. I bought a franchise today. Does that mean I get to do the training? Absolutely. Yep. If you bought one today, you'll be able to come to the Saturday training. How many franchisers are there in the company? I don't know, Tom, that answer. It's a private company. They don't have to disclose that. But you don't know how out of character it is for me to talk like this. It literally is painful. So I'm going to say this, but I'm the number one income earner in the United States with it until some of the people on this call pass me up, and it is just a matter of time. There's, one person on this call. I'm not going to out anybody. There's one person on this call that made over $100,000 in a single month last month. Not me, right? Another person. There's people that are making 20, 30, 50,000 a month. There are people in North America that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month with this. So there's a small number of people that know about it, but there's a lot of money in it because the market's so big. So my dream, my vision for this is that we can get tens of thousands, maybe millions of people promoting this, millions of distributors, franchises all over the world. And that can come from the 200 of us that were on this call. That distribution channel can trickle into all of our bank accounts forever. Work really hard, build that massive vision, make that happen, and get paid forever. That's the goal. How do partners sign up for the boot camp? I'll put an email out about the business boot camp for all the existing partners and everybody that signs up tonight. iPhone says, I already have one person wanting to buy product that wants to pay cash. Yep. You can just Zelle them or, they could Zelle or Venmo or PayPal, or they could just pay you cash and you give them one of your 10 sets. Okay. Looks like questions are winding down. This was awesome. I hope you're asking somebody to send you the link if you're not a partner yet. Pat Mellinson says, I can't get through to Kathy. Kathy, if you're here, maybe you can message Pat and you guys can connect. Heath Chapman, how much control over dispute resolution in product and delivery? I will tell you, honestly, Heath, I don't deal with any of that. If a customer has a problem, I would just say, hey, here's the customer service number. I'll have them call you, or do you want to call them? And they handle everything. I have not spent 5 seconds this year on handling that at all. It's wonderful. Ken Harper, can you tell everyone how to access all the assets that we talked about tonight? We've got those assets ready, but we're going to package them and give them to everybody Saturday morning. So on Saturday, we'll show you how to access those. And if you're not there at Saturday, if you can't be there, we'll make sure we make all the assets available to you on Saturday. All right.
Love you, brother. See ya.
Hey, love you too, Brock. We'll see you, Brock. Thanks so much for the introduction and everything. All right, we'll go ahead and end the call. We'll see you guys later. This is fun.